successful entertaining and catering company for years, and now they're sharing their insider secrets in their brand new book. Congratulations. Please welcome Sebastien and Sheila Centner. The labor of love is Eatertainment, recipes and ideas for effortless entertaining. Congratulations on this book.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not easy. I mean, you've been in the business for so long, but then compiling it is a different story, right?
Yes. Well, we've been entertaining together for years.
Yeah.
We enjoy ourselves so much, and we really wanted to express and share all of our ideas for tips and tricks and effortless entertaining with people that might not have that wherewithal and entertain that often.
We've done your show, I don't know how many times the last 20 years, and it's like we've literally been always sort of sharing little tips and tricks, but this was a chance to put it all together in one place and then make it a guide for entertaining. So you can literally follow it from page 1 right through page, I don't know, like 300, or you can pick and choose what you want and everything.
Right. Because there's different categories in the book.
Exactly. So there's, what we've done is we've sort of broken it up. So there's 12 chapters, 3 different sections. It starts out with easy entertaining, and then a little more effort, and then pulling out all the stops.
Yes.
But you don't have to follow it that way, right?
stuck in the first chapter.
Anyway.
We've got the basics from how to do a basic charcuterie board to a cheese platter. We've also included an entire section of the book on party math. So we've broken it down.
That's
yes,
good.
we've got party math.
Yeah.
So we've broken it down to whether you're entertaining 4 people, 8 people, 10, or 12.
Yeah.
And from there, we go, how much ice do we need? How much mix do we need? How many bottles of wine do we require? So we've taken all of the guesswork out of the situation.
Because you don't want to be short on supplies.
You never want to be short on supplies.
Especially wine. And do you remember, like, the first mistake that you made as a couple when you were entertaining? Like, was there ever a mistake? Because you've been in the business.
We made lots of mistakes.
Like what? Come on.
Well, the first time I ever invited Sheila over for dinner, I was doing the dishes with Mr. Clean.
This is true. This is
So I've come a long way. I've come a long way. She was really polite about it. She's like, maybe I'll watch those again. But
all right.
No,
absolutely. And one of a funny story for myself, it just happened a couple of weeks from the Mr. Clean episode, was I wanted to cook something for Sebastien, and I really wanted to impress him. And I made a casserole. I actually didn't make the casserole at all. My mother at the time did make it for me, and he loved it so much. He was like, oh my gosh, my parents are going to come over. We're going to make this together. I didn't have a clue how to make this casserole.
Busted.
Completely.
But that's what the thing is about entertaining is that, a lot of the stuff we do, people look at it and they're like, oh my God, I could never do this. Or we never want to have you for dinner. Like, we want to make it look like this. We learn this just by trying. And actually, there's lots of rules about entertaining, but we always have fun around doing it. Okay. We always want to have a good time.
I just want you to know, Jim and I had these two over for dinner, and of course I catered. I'm no fool. But I thought the presentation was fabulous.
Thank you. The presentation was great. And by the way, everybody also has their thing.
Yes.
Like Marilyn has her thing. She needs fresh ice.
Yeah,
she doesn't like stale ice.
No, when I come over to your house and you make a drink for me, I can tell how long that ice has been in your ice box. You must clean out your ice box, clean it out, put in new ice, right?
And
Absolutely.
she taught, not that we serve stale ice,
no.
but she did remind us of that. So now all of a sudden on our checklist, every time we're having people over is we check and we think, well, how fresh is the ice? And if not, we dump it all out and let the ice maker make new or...
Yeah, I don't want to taste, cookies and stale salmon in my ice.
Exactly.
But just like in the book, Marilyn, I would say we've got the book has tips and tricks all the way throughout.
Right.
A tip for ice, don't clear out your ice tray the day of your event.
Not the day
You will not have ice for your event.
The day before.
Do this 2 days beforehand so your ice machine has time to work.
Good point. Now, when we come back, Sebastien and Sheila are going to share their tips, more of them, throwing a big party in a small space. We'll be right back. Sebastien and Sheila are back with their tips on throwing a big party in a small space. It's from their new book called Eatertainment. And so there's the book right there. And it's so nice. I'm so happy for both of you that you did this.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about decor for this party. See, a lot of people, this could be their first party.
Yep.
And so how do you go about it? So decor first.
So entertaining in small spaces is like any other type of entertaining, something you got to plan for a little bit. So, if you're doing, you know us, decor, it's always about putting a bit of effort in because it shows your guests that you've actually thought about it and you haven't just, thrown something out there. So we would do, if you were doing a big table, you get a big, beautiful centerpiece. Well, you can't do that in a small space.
Right.
But you can still buy that big centerpiece or get that centerpiece at the floral arrangement at the grocery store. But then what you do is you split it into smaller arrangements. So it's really, really easy to do. You take some little vases, split it all up, and then you can place it throughout the whole space.
I like that.
Yeah, for instance, we love putting the smaller arrangements by the bar, by the food. So it acts as a roadmap, actually, to your guests of where they can gather, have conversations, and help themselves.
And look at how it's so pretty, too. I mean, it's so easy to put together. Now, let's talk about, what about the wine? Where do I put the wine? What happens to the wine?
Great question.
You mentioned the wine.
Yes, there's no wine in the set. Marilyn's like, wait a minute, where's the wine?
I mean, that's nice flowers, but where am I going to get the wine? Okay, tell me.
The expert in wine. The expert in wine. I'll leave it to her.
Small space is often a challenge, and when your fridge is full with your food and everything else, what about improvising?
Sure.
What we love to do is fill our kitchen sink with ice, and we can put all of our wine bottles, champagne, Prosecco, right in the kitchen sink. It's great for self-service. It keeps everything nice and cold. And you know what? It's unexpected.
It is unexpected.
Just don't use the ice to serve Marilyn a drink afterwards.
That's not good ice. I want the fresh stuff. So let's talk about serving the food.
Yeah, but before we get to serving the food, I'm just going to mention one more little tip, which is about furniture. So don't be afraid to either, if you live in a small space, maybe borrow a couple of stools from your neighbor or get somebody to bring something over, or you can always rent. And in this case, actually, this is all from Divine Furniture Rental, who have brought furniture into the studio before for us.
They
and we sometimes will do that. We'll rent a couple little pieces because it's less expensive than buying, and it's a great option.
Right. Okay, very good. I'm looking at all this presentation. Everything looks so delicious. What are we talking about here?
Well, do you want to talk about
back there? What are we starting?
Let's start in the front maybe and talk about how we're
layered, you guys.
It's always layered.
It's always layered.
Every corner there's something. So
in a small space, we know that counter space is key. And when we don't have room to put, several trays and platters of food for grazing out because of lack of space, we like to tier it up with tiered trays. If we can't move out, let's move up. Yeah. This is a great way that guests can help yourselves. If you don't have tiered platters, that's okay, no problem. You can basically grab kitchen plates, a lovely glass, take a bread or salad plate, pop it right on top, and all of a sudden you have your very own tiered tray.
That's it.
Saves a lot of space.
That's it. And then, that's such a great idea. And then what are we going to look at?
Well, also, when it comes to the food, especially in a small space, you know how we love to usually set up self-serve bars or grazing stations and things you can build yourself. But in a small space, you don't necessarily have the room, but also you don't want to create a bottleneck. So what we do instead is we try and have areas that are grab and go. So Sheila's done all the little canapes here that are easy to grab and go. But instead of doing like a charcuterie board that you can make your own plate, here we've created a little pasta salad. And it's a pasta salad that's pre-served. It's in a little cup already. So you just pick it up and you can walk to an area. And that's great because people aren't going to stand there and start putting something together. They're just going to grab and go.
Grab and go. All right. And what's behind you?
Oh, this is something we love talking about, Marilyn, as you know. When you're entertaining and you don't have space on your counter to set up a full bar for all your guests, what we recommend doing is creating a signature cocktail.
Yes.
Here we have already mixed together our fall sangria, which is amazing.
What's in your fall sangria?
Oh, we have some white wine, we have some apple cider, we finish it off with some Prosecco, and then we have some sliced apples and pears.
Love it.
It's delicious. A little bit of cinnamon. Yeah. This way, your guests, it's already pre-mixed. Yeah, so your guests can simply come up, grab a glass, pour themselves their cocktail, and move on.
And one of the things also about what we're talking about, having something that if you want to really enjoy entertaining, entertaining is being with your guests. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks. One, don't bite off more than you can chew, right? If you're having for example, if you're having 4 people, experiment a little bit. But if you're having 10, probably not the best time to experiment.
Stick to a basic recipe.
Right, that's right.
And on things like this, there's always, throughout the book, we've kind of like sprinkled in little anecdotes. So like if you look at, for example, the cocktail that Sheila was talking about, what we did there is we prepared it all ahead of time. So we had all the fruit cut, we had it in a Ziploc, so it was nice and cold, and wherever else used a little bit of lemon juice so that the fruit doesn't brown.
Yes.
But then we put everything in a pitcher well before the guests arrive. So when the guests arrive, add a little bit of ice, put it out there, and you're ready to go.
Ready to go, yeah. Now, I want to say something. As people, when they're entertaining, we're starting to come out of this lockdown. We want to entertain, but we also want to be with our friends. And that's what happens. We're so busy trying to entertain our friends. So give me some advice, if you're hosting, about just relax. After it's out there, it's out there.
Well, entertaining is all about enjoying it and spending time with your guests. That's really what it's about, right? If the guests are coming over, it's great that the food's fantastic or the drinks are great, but they're there to see you. Right? And that's something that we try and do a lot.
Of course, they want to see everybody happy. They're going to take their cue off of you. If you are relaxed, enjoying yourself, laughing, and not making such a big deal about the food, your guests will feed off of that. Or also, another great thing you can do is get your guests involved. Nowadays, most kitchens are open concept.
They are.
And you know what? Your guests, you don't have to hide everything. Feel free to cook, prepare, have fun. While you're talking to your guests and cooking at the same time.
And if somebody says, can I help you with something? I always say,
My answer is always, absolutely.
Come on over.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And if things really go sideways,
there's always pizza.
Well, there's pizza too, but there's always wine.
There's
always nothing that can solve any type of entertaining problem better than a glass of rosé.
That Entertainment Math page is very important for us all to know about.
Very.
Hey, congratulations on this.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud
Thank
of
you.
you. I know it was a labor of love. And thanks to Sebastien and Sheila, you're all getting a copy of their book, Eatertainment. All right, everybody. We have to take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. See you soon.